Alright guys, so it's early morning. I've actually been up all night. Insomniac problems, I guess. I had a real quick thought on a certain subject. A subject that actually might get me fired from another job. But it's something I wanted to cover real quick, something I was thinking about, and something I felt like I could cover a little bit more in depth, but more simple, I guess. And the subject being courage, right? So recently, at a gym that I work at, we talk a lot about courage, right? And how important it is in any kind of journey, especially fitness, because that's what we do. But really, it translates to everything. And we obviously see that, whether it be someone overcoming a fear of asking out a girl, or maybe it's overcoming cancer, a sickness, or maybe it's just going to school for the first time, or starting a new job, or a new career path, whatever it may be. Courage is obviously super important. And at this place, the owner talked a lot about courage being or having no fear, right? So the absolute lack of fear is courage. And that makes sense, that's what a lot of people think, I think. But I made an argument against that. The courage actually wasn't the lack of fear. Courage was actually having fear and overcoming it, acting anyways, right? So being afraid of asking out the girl and still deciding to ask her out, or being afraid to change your career path, but still doing that, being afraid to go to the gym, but getting your membership anyway. And I think that's actually courage. And you see that a lot, like in Paralympic athletes. That's the reason they're so courageous, not just because they're good athletes. And that is courageous, I guess, but the reason they're so courageous is because they're overcoming something that hamstrings so many other people and rising to greatness, right? And I made that argument. It didn't sit well. Labels passive aggressive and going against the grain and stuff like that, which is cool because that's like my thing, I guess. I don't know. But what I want to do today is to explain it super simply about what I was really trying to say and what that really means, and why courage is not the lack of fear, right? It's actually using fear to your benefit, as a signifier of what matters. So if I had to think of one word to be the opposite of courage, it would be cowardice, right? So if we were to define cowardice super simply, this is probably not the definition, but if I was to define it super simply at 7 a.m. in the morning, it would be experiencing fear and crumbling, right? So you get afraid of something, and instead of acting, all of a sudden you turn away. So you really want to ask out the girl, but the last second you turn, or you really want to get the gym membership, but you decide not to go that day. And it's usually these things are kind of a repetitive cycle. So if the opposite of cowardice, which is, experiencing fear and crumbling, then I think like a lot of people would think that the opposite of cowardice would be just not having that fear, right? But I think in the way I just worded, I think you're going to see where I'm going with this. The opposite of cowardice, courage, is not the lack of fear, it's having that fear and using it to make you stronger, right? Being afraid of the girl and knowing, man, this shit obviously matters, man. I have to go ask out that girl. Or being afraid to go to the gym. What do people think of me? I don't really know what I'm doing. Are they gonna think I look fat? I don't want to be the fat dude. Everybody in here's fit. But having those feelings and being like, man, fuck this. I want this. This matters. That's why I feel this way. And acting anyways. And a lot of people are afraid to talk about those negative things. They're afraid to talk about shit that's real. Okay? But dude, we all go through that stuff. I was afraid, right? When I lost 100 pounds, I was afraid because I got turned down by a girl. And I wasn't afraid to get turned down by the girl necessarily, but I was afraid of the feeling that gave me. Because I really wanted her, right? I really wanted to be with this girl, and she turned me down, and the feeling was awful, and I was afraid of ever having that feeling again. And I knew that I couldn't do it, right? That was something important to me, like, I could not do that. And all of a sudden, bow, I lost 100 pounds. And what's weird is most people that do these transformations, it doesn't have to be physical, it could be a college degree, or changing your career, or whatever you hear about in careers too. Like, man, I was really afraid to change my career path. I'm super unhappy. I took a chance. Everybody told me I was wrong, blah, 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 and now I'm the happiest I've ever been. You hear that? You hear stories like that all the time. So this is really my long, drawn-out way of saying that fear is actually super, super important. So acting from a place of no fear, that's bullshit, dude. Like, straight up, that is bullshit. Because if you're not acting in a place of fear, you're acting in a place that doesn't matter, man. You have to be afraid of something to know it matters. It's the same reason people get stage fright, butterflies in your stomach before something that happens, right? So it's kind of my long, drawn out way of saying that if you're afraid of something, that shit matters, and that means you need to do it. It's not a caution sign. It's like a big fucking green light, dude. Go get that shit. It's a signifier. That's what courage is.